Seriously. Well, actually, I only made it to brown birds, but that.
Hey, you guys, I'm so excited for this Zoom tonight. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. Use this time to invite the rest of your team on here. I'm so excited to hear from these incredible ladies. You guys are just going to be super inspired tonight. So get started in just a minute.
Jen can't hear you.
What, love?
Oh, I seen your mouth moving and I was like, I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm talking to Bitsy. We're just about to get started, you guys. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh no, I just put my stuff over there.
All right, you guys, here, I'm going to push record on this and we're going to get started. I'm so pumped. Okay, let me get this going. Oh, it's already recording. I'll have to edit that. Okay, you guys, I'm so excited. This is round 3, part 3 of our Level Up Your Life Zoom series. And I just wanted to create this Zoom for you guys, this whole entire series, to really show you what is possible in a 90-day period working your business. My name's Jennifer Swavely. I'm a triple diamond. I've been in this business for 3 years. I started this business just because I was a hairstylist working 5 to 6 days a week. I was exhausted. And when I decided to go all into my business, I remember it was January 27th, I decided to go all in with my business. And 3 months later, I promoted to diamond. The month after that, my husband's account promoted to diamond. And by month 5, I was a double diamond. And we were able to pay for our whole entire wedding in cash. We got to move out of our tiny studio guest house and into a bigger home. I got to cut back working hours from 50 hours a week to only like 2 days a week at the salon. And I actually got the time to spend with my husband. So I just really want to show you that these first 3 months of the year can be so impactful for your life and for your business, and just push your business into crazy, crazy momentum. And we have some amazing ladies on tonight that agreed to share their amazing stories with you guys. And the very first one that I'm going to bring on, like total fangirl over here, is Ambassador Diamond, Brittany Hayes. She started in January 2017 as a ruby, and she went double diamond in March. The next month, her husband went double, and she went triple in June. So from ruby to triple in 6 months. This is just so incredible. So I'm pumped for you guys to hear her story. You're going to be blown away. And Brittany, I'm really excited, and I'm honored to have you on this Zoom tonight. So let's hear your story, girl. Can you unmute yourself?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on here tonight and to share with you guys. So I started, like Jennifer said, January 2017 as a ruby. I had what a lot of people would call slow start in the business. When I joined, I saw so many people on my enrollers team who were going ruby in like 23 days or 2 months. Like they were all getting the ruby bonus. And I remember thinking, like, I feel like I'm doing everything right. I feel like I'm doing everything that she's teaching me to do. Like, why am I not promoting as fast? But something just kept telling me inside, just keep going, like your time's coming. And I firmly believe that what we tell ourselves in the moments when things don't seem to be going as well for us as they're going for someone else make or break our success. It's really, really easy to see someone else, going lightning speed and thinking, oh, well, I must be doing something wrong. But that's the moment when we have to flip it and we have to realize, like, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. My time's coming. I'm going to get better and better and better every single day. I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to keep my blinders on. A lot of those same people, you guys, that I saw go ruby in like 2-3 weeks, they quit when they didn't go diamond the next month. It's all about the longevity you have. It's not about how fast you start, how fast you go initially. It's about how long you're going to go. And I decided right then and there, I was in this for the long haul, and I didn't care how long it took me. And I firmly believe that when we show up in like as that version of ourselves with that mindset and that mentality, that's when we really give God the stage to bless us big. And I firmly believe the only reason I went from ruby to triple diamond in 6 months, just like aside from the fact that I diligently planted seeds when I couldn't see anything happening, was because of that strong belief. So I challenge you right now today, check your faith. If your faith is not where it should be, only you can fix it. No one else can fix it besides you. You've got to fix it. You've got to tell yourself right now, if God would do this for anyone else, he'll do it for me. I'm going to show up as the best version of myself every single day, and I'm going to make this happen. Because you guys, this is the time of year when things happen that you just can't quite explain. I know that just like, honestly, just ever since Christmas, I feel like I've had so many people that are coming through the woodworks that haven't talked to me or have ignored my follow-ups or whatever. They're coming out, and that's the beauty of planting seeds even when you can't see the fruit yet. When you come into boom season, you're going to have that harvest to reap. I just signed a customer, you guys, last night that I have followed up with for 3.5 years. I have followed up with her since my first month in the business. She's always said she didn't have the money, never has been ready, and she commented on a post of mine a few days ago. I messaged her. She still didn't answer the message right away, and I was like, well, I mean, here we go. We'll see what happens. And she messaged me back last night ready to order. So if they are interested, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's your job to have the belief. It's your job to have the faith. It's your job to plant the seeds. Plant the seeds and continue to water them. I was on a Zoom the other day with Grant Cardone. He is in the self-development world. He's like a famous author. He's written the book 10X Rule, if you guys have heard of that. And he said something that I thought was so good. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Just give me 1 second. I should have already had this pulled up, guys. Sorry. I sent it to my girls. Okay. Sorry. Scrolling up. You know what? I'm going to have to let this load. I'll tell you guys in just a second, but it was phenomenal. He was talking about how the problem with most people, I'm going to paraphrase it since I can't pull it up. He said the problem with most people is they are so focused on just scattering seeds everywhere that they're not taking care of the seeds they've already planted. He said one of the best things that you can do is continue to water the seeds you've already planted. He's in real estate and all kinds of things like that. And he was talking about how he's where he's at today because he never gave up on watering his seeds. He never ever like he refused to believe that the seeds were dead, that he couldn't get anything from the work he'd already put in. He continued to water them no matter what the outlook looked like. And so I wanted to share that with you guys and encourage you guys that this season more than ever, you got to go back to those seeds that you planted that maybe you felt like you didn't see anything from, because you will see things from them if you just keep going. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys before I wrap my part up is writing down your goals every single week. This is something that I started doing right before 2017. I started doing this the end of 2016. I went into conference season doing this, and I've never stopped. And this has been just such a huge thing for me. And I wanted to read you guys like what I wrote down for last week to really show you guys like tangibly how it looks for me and how simple it is. So if you don't have a planner, I recommend getting one from Ink and Volt. You can just go to like inkandvolt.com. They're super affordable, and they're set up for people like in our type of business. And they have things lined up, like especially where you like write your like specific weekly goals, your monthly goals, your yearly goals. But I wrote down for last week's goal, actually goes through today: enroll 5 distributors, enroll 5 customers, put out 7 great pieces of content, 1 intentional and strong live in my team page, and 1 live on my personal Facebook page, adding value. And I've done all of those things except for the enroll 5 distributors. I enrolled 2. And so what I really like about this is it's really fun to look at like what you did, and to really like when you go to the next week and you start goal setting for the next week, it asks you to reflect and celebrate. It asks you to look back at the last week and reflect what went right. What can you celebrate? And what that keeps you from doing is just focusing on what you didn't do. I know some of you, maybe you're like me and you hold yourself to a really high standard, and it would be easy to be like, oh man, I didn't enroll 5 distributors. But then you look at the things you did do and you're like, okay, but I did enroll the 5 customers. I did put out the great content. I did do a really great live adding value. And you can look at the things that you did do well, celebrate them, and then update your goals for the next week. So I wanted to throw that in there because I feel like so often that can be the missing piece for so many people, is having, doing all these incredible things, but not really having the direction and not focusing on your wins and giving yourself that celebration that you deserve. And then one thing too I love about it is it has a gratitude box. So like every week you can like write the things you're grateful for, which has been absolutely huge for me. I know that Cindy always says, and I'm sure you guys have heard her say this, that gratitude precedes blessing. And when I started being grateful for the little things in my life and for the little things in my business, that's when I started seeing God bless me with more. I saw someone asked in the comment, what is the planner called? It's called Ink and Volt. And I just put that in the comments too, so you guys can write that down. But anyways, wrapping up before I pass it over to the next person, I just wanted to share with you guys, now more than ever, this is the time to pull out your potential list. This is the time to go back to people that you've talked to since you first started. Maybe you just started. This is the time to really open up your hundreds list and develop that list and really like brainstorm, like, who am I not thinking of? This is the time to pray, Lord, who is right in my path that needs this business, who I'm just not thinking of? Every time I pray that prayer, you guys, he'll like show me someone who I've known from like 10 years ago who I haven't thought of, who I'm like, okay, this is clearly he's putting this person on my newsfeed for a reason. I'm going to go interact with them. I'm going to see what they're up to, see what they're doing. So don't be afraid. If you feel lost, bring God into it, you guys. That's the best thing you can do for your business. And whenever I feel anxious or like I need more direction or anything, that's what I stop and do. And I always feel like I have that clarity and I can move forward. So I encourage you, if you're feeling anxious, stop and pray. I promise you, when you bring God into your business, he's the best business partner you can have. You're going to find that anxiety leave you, and you're going to find that you know exactly what to do. And then last but not least, pray over your potentials. Whenever I have people who I'm following up with a lot and maybe they're not responding, or maybe it's just never been a good time, I'm just going to sit and pray over them. And then I'm going to pray over future potentials who I haven't met yet, who are clearly watching me. They haven't reached out yet. And I'm going to pray that God gives them the courage to reach out to me. I'm going to pray that God makes it really clear to me who they are. And simple things like that, you guys, have absolutely changed my business. And really, really helped me just level up and work my business with so much more intention and so much more purpose. So go out there and make it happen, you guys. You don't want to be standing in that arena. And by the way, if you don't have your conference ticket, that's a whole other conversation, but you cannot afford not to go. Every person on my team, you guys, last year that promoted, actually it was like 9 out of 10 that promoted to diamond and above during conference season last year were physically present at conference. So you have to get there. You cannot afford not to go. When I bought my tickets, you guys, for 2017 conference, I was an executive. We had no money. I put it on a credit card and I just knew I had to get there. And I walked out of conference learning that I had just earned a $10,000 bonus, went double diamond the next month. My husband went double the next month. I went triple 2 months later. And I wouldn't be here today telling you that story if I wasn't there. I promise you. So get your conference ticket. But the last thing I was saying before that little rabbit trail is you do not want to be standing in that arena when Mark announces everything that he announces and tears are flooding the room. You do not want to be standing there saying, I wish I would have. I wish I would have done a little bit more. I wish I would have showed up. I wish I would have gotten on my team Zooms. I wish I would have implemented those tips that I heard. I wish I would have done my follow-ups on Friday. You don't want to be thinking that. You want to be thinking, I'm ready. Everything they just unloaded, everything they just unleashed, it's mine because I've been doing the work, and it's never too late to start. So if you feel like you wasted time in 2019, that does not have to be your story in 2020. Decide right now that you're wasting no more time, that you're making use of everything that God has given you, every resource he's given you, you're going to utilize, and you're going to show up every single day just a little bit better. I promise you, those are the people who win at conference.
Dang, like mic drop. I have chills right now. That was so good, Brittany. Okay, so one last question I want to ask you, and this is just a random one I'm going to throw at you, but one I've been wanting to ask you is I feel like you are so good at telling your story with your posts. So can you give like a couple quick tips on like how to help people really attract distributors with the posts that you make?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it's all about painting them a picture and showing them where I was and where I am now. And so I like to really just relate with my audience and let them into what life was like before the business. And you guys, this works even if you just joined the business. So even if you've only been in the business for 2 weeks, this still works. When I got started, one of the best ways I started signing distributors was just like really laying out that story of hope for people. So I would say something like, for months and months, I followed a girl on social media. I watched her change her life by working off her smartphone. I always wondered if I could do it too, because we've been living paycheck to paycheck for so long. I finally reached out to her and got started, and now I get to earn an income off my smartphone from wherever I am as well. If you've been praying for a solution for 2020, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about how working off your smartphone could be such a blessing in your life too. Just something so simple. And I always put a call to action at the end. So I always put message me or text opportunity to, and then I put my phone number. And you guys, like literally 95% of the distributors I sign text me the word opportunity. They don't message me on Instagram. They don't message me on Facebook. They text me the word. And then we connect with whichever platform they saw my post after that. But so many people, like, they don't know what to say. They want a way to easily reach out to you. They want a way to anonymously reach out to you. They just want information. They want to learn more, but they're scared. And how many of you guys can relate to that? Like, you were scared when you reached out to your enroller, or you were scared when you got started, you were nervous. Well, that's how most people feel. And so by giving people that easy way to reach out, you're going to see the number of people reach out, like you're going to see that increase. But then also knowing that consistency wins the game with this. I don't put up one story post and then people flock to me. I put my story up every single night, literally every single night. It's like 6 out of 7 days a week, my stories on Facebook and Instagram. And what that does is people have to see things so many times before they're going to reach out to you. I watched my enroller for 11 months. She never reached out to me about the business. I was her customer for hair, skin, and nails, but we had never talked about the business. And I watched her just like continue to succeed, continue to, get higher and higher and, change her family's life. And I finally just was like, I got to find out what this is. I got to do this too. But had she not been consistent telling her story, I don't know that I would have felt that way. So don't just assume people know what you do or know what you are doing, or know what success you have. Like some of you are on here and maybe you're, already diamond above and you're like, oh, everybody in my warm network knows. They don't know unless you're actively posting about it and telling them. So make sure that if you do nothing else, you're so consistent with that. And you can mix it up. Like I love just showing people different aspects of my life. Both my accounts are public. So if you ever want story ideas, you're free to go look at my post for inspiration. Again, I do it at least once a day. But I like to, if I take my kids to the grocery store, that's a great post. Grocery shopping on a one-income family budget used to be so tight for us. But now thanks to working off my smartphone, I have extra income coming in. Literally things as simple as that. You can take your kids to the park, talk about how you're so thankful you get to work from your smartphone while playing with your kids. I mean, this literally works in anything you're doing. You just got to look for those posting opportunities. And if you're busy while the opportunity is happening, just take a picture. Take a picture and then you can make the post later. That's usually what I do. But I'm telling you, if you start this right now and you post your story every single day from now till conference and continue to do it, you're going to find that you start getting a whole new stream of potentials coming. Maybe you've already been getting potentials through host to post or messaging or whatever. Wouldn't it be nice to get another stream coming in that's been watching you, but you didn't know they've been watching you, and you're giving them now that easy way to reach out. So tell your story, put great pictures with it of your life, something you're doing. Don't put a picture that has nothing to do with you. Put something of your family, your life, and just share your heart. It doesn't have to sound like me. It doesn't have to sound like anyone else. It needs to sound like you. And people want to know the real raw side of you. So if you take nothing else from what I'm saying, take that away. Share the most vulnerable parts of your life, why you started this. More people are going to relate to that than you can possibly imagine. And then put out your goals very strongly in those posts. I used to post that I was retiring my husband. I would say this is for all of our marriage, he's worked long hours, we've barely seen each other, but this is going to be the year that I get to retire him and bring him home, thanks to working off my smartphone. And I also think, kind of going on before on why I think I had that rapid success in conference season, I think a big part of it is when you put your goals out there, you guys, it's gonna happen. When we were in Costa Rica, Cami said to us, she said, when I knew what I want and I was crystal clear about what I want and I spoke about it often, it was only a matter of time before it was mine. And I really do think that's the missing piece for so many people, is either lacking that clarity about what they want or being scared to talk about it. She said that anytime she's seen someone on her team when she was building the Black Diamond who wouldn't talk about their goals, she said the goals didn't happen until they got over themselves and started sharing them. So don't be scared to tell people you're going to retire yourself this year. Don't be scared to tell people you're going to retire your husband. Don't be scared to tell people that you're going to, this is going to be the year you start earning 6 figures. Don't be scared to put those goals out there, because the right people are going to see your goals. They're going to be inspired and they're going to come along for the ride. But if you never put your goals out there, you're keeping them in here, which is not where they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be shared with the world to empower and inspire. And you're never going to attract those people who are meant to be on the journey with you, because you're too scared to put them out there. So the other thing I wanted to share, as I did find that quote I was going to tell you guys, it just my phone finally loaded. But he said, one of the biggest mistakes people make is not reinvesting in the trees you've already planted. People get rich because they go deep, not because they go wide. And his whole point of that was quality over quantity. Invest in what you've already planted. Invest in your team. If you're a Ruby and no one in your team's working, check back up on them. Maybe they're ready to work now. Check back up on them and just see what's going on. Maybe life hit them hard in 2019 and they don't even know that you still want them. Check in with them and let them know, hey girl, it's never too late to jump back in. I'd love to help you. But just don't neglect the seeds you've already planted. Don't neglect the trees that are already there. And it's going to be an amazing year, you guys.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. And that quote is gold. I'm going to have to write it down. I saw one of your girls posted it in there, but it is so gold. And I feel like a lot of the time, especially when we're getting ready for this big run and everything, we think okay, new people, which of course you need to, But you're so right to go back and check on all your other distributors that maybe the timing wasn't right. For me, you guys, I started in October and I did nothing with my business until I saw my enroller get back from conference and she was fired up. And that's the decision. When I saw her come back from conference January 27th, I'm like, I'm all in, I'm running. So don't forget that your team, the timing may not have been right then. It could be right now. So I love that you brought that up, Brittany. Oh my gosh. Drop a 1 in the comments if like you just got so much value from everything that Brittany said. That was gold. Did you want to add something in real quick?
I was just going to say some of my biggest rock stars are the people that had life happen and they were kind of in a weird place for like 3 to 6 months. And if I would have just written them off and thought, oh, they're not going to work, they're not going to do anything, like who knows if they would have ever come back. But because I never gave up on them, they figured that season out and they came back with a vengeance and they came back guns blazing, on fire, and they made up for lost time. And they're here today, diamond and above, to tell about it. And so never, ever, ever write anybody off, never, ever burn a bridge. Erwin McManus says in his book, The Last Arrow, he says, it's a dangerous thing to burn bridges you may have to cross again. And he talks about how like no relationship's ever over, like when it's something like simple like that, where life gets in the way, like never just write someone off, like wait and give them that chance, to come back to figure things out, show them that love and that most vulnerable time where they need it most, because you just never know what someone's going through and you never know how quickly they're going to come out of it and be ready to run with you.
I love that. It's so true. Okay. Thank you, Brittany, so much. Like that was just amazing. Got all these ones in the comments. That was really awesome. So we got more amazing people coming your way. I cannot wait to hear Sarah's story right now. She went from Emerald in December to Triple Diamond. Is this right? Triple Diamond by March? Hello. Okay. So Sarah, where are you at? I'm so excited to hear your story. Are you on?
Yes. Okay. I had to find the unmute button.
Hey, girl. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I'm pumped to hear your story.
Okay. Hey, everybody. So, yeah, I'm Sarah Neerman. I'm a presidential diamond with It Works. I've been with It Works since March of 2014. And when I started, I was working full time. I was working part time on the weekends, waiting tables. I was getting my master's degree in comparative biosciences. And I was just joining for like a little extra. I saw my enroller posting. Truthfully, I actually was a loyal customer for 3 months because I wanted to lose weight for my wedding, but then I didn't like actually use the products. But then I saw her posting about a $10,000 bonus for going diamond in your first 3 full calendar months. I was like, well, gosh, I could really use a $10,000 bonus. So I was like familiar with the industry. I had friends growing up whose moms sold like Mary Kay and Tastefully Simple and Pampered Chef and stuff like that. So I knew about the industry, but I only knew it with parties. So when I saw this girl doing it from her phone while she was like at home and not having to do parties, not having to do inventory or anything, everything being online, I was like, oh my gosh, I could probably do that. So I got started and then I freaked out. Like I totally panicked. I'm from a super, super tiny farm town. I don't know how many of you guys know Jade Hooper. I went to high school with Jade Hooper. She wasn't my enroller, but she was my enroller's enroller. And a bunch of the leaders on Jade's team now, Jade got in, she's like, I'm signing up our whole town. And our town was pretty much split between already distributors or couldn't stand anything to do with It Works and actually spent like their whole day making fun of us or like commenting on our posts and trying to just rattle us. It was really crazy. So I tried to quit, honestly, in my first 72 hours. I tried to quit because I just didn't know if I could I didn't know if I could handle it. And my upline ended up saying, look, dude, whatever you do, that's up to you, but I'm going diamond and beyond that. And how are you going to feel when you watch me do the things that you joined to do, knowing that could have been you too if you hadn't given up? And I was like, I'm going to feel like an idiot. So I decided to stick it out. And it was very like touch and go for a few months. And it was the month that I went executive that conference tickets went on sale. And I watched The Secret. Okay. For months, I had been like 1 foot out the door. And I saw Jade go triple diamond and pay cash for a new car and then another new car that she gave to her grandparents because she loved her grandparents so much. I was like, gosh, if Jade can do that and we went to high school together and grew up in the same town, then I should be like, she's a normal human being that I know. I should be able to do some version of that or even a fraction of that. So I decided to watch The Secret. At the time, when I joined this business, I had zero faith. I didn't really believe in God or anything like that. And when I saw a bunch of leaders talking about watch The Secret, watch The Secret, watch The Secret, I also didn't believe in personal development. So I finally was like, all right, that's it. I'm all in. I'm ready to do this. I'm going to watch The Secret. That's where I'm going to start. So I sat down for an hour and a half. I listened to The Secret, and I thought, this is the goofiest thing I've ever heard, but okay, I'm just going to roll with it. And I started speaking life over my business, and everything changed. 2 weeks after that, I enrolled for it. Yes, it's called The Secret, The Law of Attraction. It's based on a book, but you can watch the video on YouTube or Netflix. But I ended up like, yeah, it's so good. So I ended up enrolling 4 distributors in the same weekend. And they all were like rock stars. They all got their shopping sprees. They took off. And then it was 6 months after I watched The Secret that I went from distributor, I went executive that month, and that I was a triple diamond. So 6 months from watching The Secret, I went from distributor to triple diamond. But anyway, The Secret was really the game changer for me. And then I got to conference. So I went executive. I bought my conference ticket, just like Brittany said. I got to that first conference, and by the time I went to conference, I was an emerald. And that was my first ever event. And just hearing the stories on stage, it changed me. Hearing people who, you know, were just like me, who were on stage telling their story, and now they were top income earners, paying off debt, retiring their husbands, retiring themselves, like doing all these incredible things. And me sitting there in that audience, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I can do this. Maybe this is something that I am actually like capable of. And it was the end of that month that I ended up going diamond. And then I had a seed planted in my heart from that conference. I mean, I went to worship. I went to worship alone. Like I said, I didn't believe in God, but I heard I should get to worship. So I just went there, and like, I mean, God met me where I was, and everything that I had done up until that moment. And I truly believe that even watching The Secret was like kind of my introduction to believing in something outside of myself and having extreme faith. So yeah, I went to conference. I was totally just changed. I was all in. I was ready to go. I had a seed planted that I was going to go triple in the next 2 months. So I went diamond that month, and I hustled like crazy. And I like picked my people that I was going to run with. I had like 3 people, really, 4 people on my team who were really, really excited. And I just went to them. I was like, you're going diamond, you're going diamond, you're going diamond, you're going diamond. Are you ready for this? And they were fired up, and they got to work, and I got to work. And I mean, it was just extreme faith, like ridiculous faith, not allowing myself to have any fear or doubt. And any time that I felt like I did, it was just like Brittany said, when you start to have that anxiety, you stop and you pray. And that's what I did. It was just like, nope, I'm not going there. I'm not giving fear the time of day. I'm going with faith. We're going triple. We're going triple. We were calling it out. We were just saying it over and over again. My leaders were saying diamond, 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 diamond. And by the time, you know, I double promoted. I was diamond, and then I was diamond the month after that. And then I rolled over straight to triple in March, and my husband was a double diamond. We earned $150,000 combined in bonuses. And the following year we paid off debt, all of our debt, student loan debt. We're like 5 years shy of being fully funded for our retirement when we're 35 years old. So my husband took 1.5 years off from being in the airlines as a pilot so we could be a full-time family, like just craziness. I know that was way longer, but I like involved a bunch of other stuff that you had asked me about.
Oh, that was so good. It's so crazy to hear, you know, how mindset really changes everything. Because, you know, you can start this business, and if you don't believe that you're capable of more, if you don't believe that you can be successful, you're putting like these limits on yourself that don't need to be there. And once you remove all of that, and I love The Secret too, I thought that was such an incredible movie. But once you remove all of that, everything changes. Once you believe it's possible, everything changes. So I love that you mentioned that. One question I wanted to ask you. So, you know, I want people to have a realistic view of, you know, if you're hearing these amazing stories and you drastically want to change your life in 2020, especially these first 3 months, and you're hearing these stories, how people are going from distributor to triple diamond in 6 months, or, you know, all these crazy stories. Obviously, those kinds of jumps don't come without some sacrifices. So will you talk about kind of, I mean, you made just such a huge leap in your business. Like, what kind of sacrifices did you made? And I mean, was it worth it?
Well, number one, yes, it was absolutely worth it. And I will never like regret any, I look at sacrifices that I've made for my business as investments into my business. And it was, I mean, it was all on the faith. Like there was nothing to tell me that, okay, for sure, you are going to promote to this rank and be making this amount of money by this time. There was nothing that told me that that was going to happen. It was just a decision in my mind that that's where I was going. And it started with smaller goals. I mean, I didn't just wake up as a distributor and go, I'm going triple diamond. Like I looked at, okay, I'm going to go ruby. And like my big goal is diamond, because that's all I could wrap my brain around at that time. So that's what I was claiming. And I was just working towards that. And then as I got closer and closer to that, I just kept raising the goal and raising the goal and raising the goal. But yeah, in terms of sacrifices that I made, I mean, or investments that I made. So at the time that I was working from distributor up to diamond, I was working full time. I was working part time on the weekends, and I was finishing up my master's degree. So I was like really strapped for time. And I would wake up in the morning, probably 20 minutes earlier than I had been before. And I would roll over and I would immediately make a post. Like that was the first thing that I did right that morning. And then while I was getting ready, I was listening to like recordings of Show Me the Money calls and other personal development stuff that would get me pumped up for the day while I was getting ready for work. And then I would go to my job and I would sit for 5 minutes in my car before I would go into work, and I would make another post and I would respond to some people. And then throughout the day, while I was at work, I was taking bathroom breaks and I was following and unfollowing and interacting on stuff and sending friend requests on Facebook while I sat on the toilet at work. And I would get home at night and I like, before I would go into my apartment, I would go, okay, before I get distracted by going in there and doing stuff, I'm going to work for 5 minutes from my car. And I mean, that was just discipline. That was me having to know, okay, if I don't do it right now, I will get distracted and it won't get done at all. So I just had to make the decision and have the discipline to do it in those little increments throughout the day. And then at night, I used to have Netflix time. I would have wind down time before I would go to bed after I was done with homework. And I said, all right, that's my work time now. And I would spend 1 to 2 hours getting new messages out at night while I listened to a training on YouTube or listened to some personal development or something like that. So I mean, I was probably working 2.5 hours a day all the way up till diamond, but it was just that consistency of putting that effort in every single day for 6 months that turned into distributor to diamond. I had to give it that time. But then because of all that consistency that I had put in, I had planted so many seeds that when I was going diamond and then I was working on going triple, I had all those seeds planted and I was following up like a mad person. I had gotten really, really good at telling my story. But I was sacrificing. I mean, I was having fights with Matt, because my husband, because I told him, I said, I'm going triple diamond. I'm earning $150,000 in bonuses. We're going to be making $15,000 a month. And he didn't see that. He was like, that doesn't sound realistic. Like that doesn't sound like something that normal people do. So he thought that my sacrifices were a waste of time. So when I told him like, I can't do this right now, or I can't do this tonight because I've got to work, and I was spending that time on my phone, or he wanted me to come over and watch a movie or something like that, because we didn't live together at the time. I don't remember. Oh, because he was like gone for a job, and he would want us to do something together. And I was like, I can't, like, I'm working towards something. So I was saying no to time with my husband, like long time with my husband. He got my time. He just didn't get like the long time that he wanted every single night. We had to establish certain nights and certain time frames. And like, I was turning down girls' nights. And I was just being very, very intentional with whatever time I made. And then after I went diamond, I left my full-time job and I went all in with this business. And I mean, I knew I had something big that I was working towards. So I was not watching Netflix. I wasn't watching, like, no cable. I was just in the zone working. It was personal development, working my business, and then like an hour a day intentionally with my husband.
Dang, yeah, that's like the same thing like that was going through me. And I just had to have that open communication with my husband, my fiance at the time, that like, I'm doing something bigger. Like, this is an investment into our future, and it's just for a short period of time, and it will be worth it. So I love that you brought that up. Is there one last tip that you want to share real quick before we hop on over to Rachel?
Yeah. So for me, like, so much of what happened, or everything that happened for me during the boom season, it came because of the seeds that I planted up until that point. But my business booming over those 90 days was nothing compared to what it did for the next 2 years because of that work that I put in during that 90-day period. Like, it was like hustle to the max. I was messaging my fingers off. I was following up with everybody, like totally getting over myself, not allowing myself to feel any fear or doubt or anything. And I planted so many seeds that over the next 2 years, I was a top 150 income earner as a triple diamond. I was a top 5 recruiter in the company for a year and a half, 2 years in a row, month after month after month. And it was because of the work that I put in. So if I'm just saying this because if you were like a brand new distributor, or maybe you just like weren't planting the seeds like you needed to be in the fall, go big, set big goals. There's no reason that your business can't explode right now, but you also have to know that you showing up consistently over these next 90 days, even if you see other people's businesses booming in big ways and you're like, gosh, mine didn't do what I thought it was going to do, you keep showing up, because the work that you put in now, it's going to pay off 3 months from now, 6 months from now, next year, boom season 2. Like, we're not just in this for 90 days. We're in this for life. We're in this for the long haul. And so you have to have that kind of mindset that, you know, you're not just building your business for this boom season. You're building it for the next 5 boom seasons.
Oh, so good. Gosh, you guys are amazing. This Zoom is fire right now. I'm so excited. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that too, because, you know, we're focusing on like this 90 days because it is such an amazing time of the year where people are focused on resolutions. They want to make money. They want to improve their health and lose weight, and we can help them with all that. So that's why this season is crazy time. And plus, you know, whatever's going to be announced at conference, it just creates an amazing season. But that doesn't mean at the end of this 90 days, if you're not where you want to be, that you quit and you throw in the towel. Like, this is just setting you up for momentum for the rest of the year. And I feel like it's so important for everybody to know that. So, oh my gosh, Sarah, thank you so much. That was incredible. We're going to hop over to Rachel, which she has another incredible story to share where she was paid as diamond in December and then March went triple, which is just, and earned her first 5-figure monthly paycheck. So that is just so incredible. I cannot wait to hear your story. Are you there, girl?
Hey, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, like, these stories are giving me butterflies and like making me that much more excited for this season that we're going into. Like, I literally want to scream. I'm so excited. But okay, so I'm Rachel Wisser and I'm a triple diamond. We went triple this past March. And so a little bit about like my background and my story in this business really quick. I definitely never saw myself doing anything regarding like network marketing or like sales or anything like that. I started because I just needed like food and gas money. Like, literally, I was super broke in college and I was extremely busy. I was like working 3 jobs, going to school full time, taking 5 college classes, and that life was completely exhausting. Like, I was thinking of ways that I could bring in extra income, but like nothing really clicked. And I just was so overwhelmed even thinking about it. But then I saw one post, and I think that that's why, like, you heard, you know, Brittany and Sarah like talking about like just posting in your story and how powerful your story is, because when the second that you inspire somebody, like, you can change their mind. And so I got involved in this because of one post that I saw from a girl that she was basically a stranger, and she was not a top income earner or anything like that. Like, she was literally, I think she was either a ruby or an emerald at the time, and she was just talking about bringing in grocery money. And I totally just related to her post and her story, and something just really inspired me to dive in. But I had such low expectations when I started, you guys. I just thought like, okay, if I could bring in an extra like 100 to 200 a month, then I will be solid. And like, that might take me a really long time, but I'm cool with that. Like, that was my mindset. And then like, kind of long story short, got my act together. I realized very quickly what I had my hands on. Like, within a couple months, I just like woke up and I was like, I can make more than 100 to 200 a month with this. So I got to work. Within 6 months. I was actually able to quit my 3 jobs, which was so crazy. I was not expecting that to happen. And then over the next couple of years, promoted to diamond and double and things like that. But I never really had like a full out 90-day run. Like, and it's so crazy to even think about that and like reflect back, because I'm like, man, I wish I like really made a decision to do like a full on 90-day run. But it was just more of like a 30-day burst or like a 60-day burst. And then, so a 90-day run is like so amazing for your business. Just like Sarah was saying, it's going to set you up for the next, not only just the next few months, but literally the next like years of your life. Like, that's how incredible it really can be to just make that decision. So last December, so I was ranked double, but I was paid as a diamond in December. And so I just remember being like, I'm just ready. Like, I'm just ready to make a decision. Like, I'm sick of putting these glass ceilings on myself. I'm sick of just like holding back so much. Like, I am going to do this and I'm going to go all in for 90 days. And so I think like there's been amazing tips on this so far. I've been like taking notes. I'm like, yes, this is so good. And so like what I want to bring to you guys is like, there's something really, really special, I feel like, about having a strategy so that you can continue that vision all through your 90 days. Because I've seen it, and like, I just feel like when we have like this 90-day thing, sometimes like after those first 30 days, we just can feel drained or we can feel just exhausted. And so we're like, you know what I mean? So it's so awesome to set up a plan to be like, okay, this is what's happening in the first month. This is what's happening in the second month. And this is exactly what's happening in the third month. And then honestly, like truly just getting real and raw with yourself for what kind of work you actually are going to have to do. Because I'll just tell you guys from my experience and my perspective from that 90-day run, from getting paid as diamond to triple diamond in 90 days, it was tough. Okay. Like, and you guys have heard this, the last couple people have said, it takes work. Like, you hear this over and over. It takes work. It takes work. It takes work. Something that helped me so much was not only getting real with myself for like how much work this was going to be, but getting excited about that. So not being afraid of the work, being like, I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to do what needs to be done. I'm going to push through. And like, I kid you not, you guys, every single morning, this was my routine. This is exactly what I did. I had to like arm myself with things that were, I think somebody is unmuted, sorry. But I had to like arm myself with preparation to get through every single day, because I knew the battle that I was about to step into. And so every single morning I was listening to like a 10 or 15 minute Stephen Furtick video or something similar. And I was listening to like the Rocky speech. Like, I'm a huge Rocky, my team's probably laughing. They know I'm like obsessed with Rocky. And so I was listening to like that speech or listening to that music, getting myself in that mental game every day, because like the work that we do is really simple, you guys. Like, the tasks that we do is very simple. Like, we just talk to people. Like, that's really what we do. So the stuff that we do is simple. The hard part is pushing through the no's, is pushing through all the stuff, all the ups and downs of your 90-day push. So like, what really, truly, truly helped me so much was like literally like arming up for battle, as cheesy as that says, every single day, and getting my mind right in that spiritual sense every single morning. And just like Brittany was saying, praying over your business, praying over your business, praying over your team, keeping yourself so focused in that mindset of belief. Like, you know, even those days where you're like, I don't freaking know how this is going to happen. I don't know how this is going to happen. You know, like keeping yourself in that mindset of like, even though I don't know how exactly it's going to happen, I'm going to believe that it's happening, and I'm going to keep doing the work anyway. I'm going to keep following up anyway. I'm going to keep pushing through anyway. And there's something that just happens and comes alive inside of you when you can focus on the belief instead of focusing on what's not happening. So a couple of things, like I know I already shared like kind of what I did regarding like self-development, all that. Like I just knew that if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for me starting my day every single day in that way, and even like other times throughout the day, if I needed to pick me up like that, like it was so crucial, and it just really kept me pushing forward. Some things that I was kind of like when it comes to the strategy and everything, and this can be for any rank. It doesn't matter, you know, what rank you're going for or what you're pushing for over the next 90 days. I think it's really important to gather information and to just really understand like what your strategy should be. So maybe you could start with the basics of going to your upline or your enroller and being like, okay, what are the 5 things that I have to be doing every single day over these next 90 days? What are the 5 things I have to be doing? And they're going to give you those specific things, whether this is your new or you need a refresher, or you just need that like solidity of like, these are the exact things that I need to do. And then the second thing that I would do is, let's say that you are going for diamond by February or March, right? You're like, I am diamond by March. What I would suggest doing is maybe go to one of the leaders on your team or a diamond that you know who's really killing it. Ask your leader, like, who's a diamond on our team, or maybe a sideline that's really killing it. I'd like to ask them some questions. Don't be afraid to do that. Like, we are so one team, one mission. You guys, like, seriously, success leaves clues. So like, get as much information as you possibly can and ask them like, hey, when you were pushing for diamond or on a run for diamond, like what are some like things that you were aiming for every day? Like, what were some of your goals? And I know that's what Brittany was saying a little bit earlier, is like really having those specific goals. That is so important, because if you don't have those specific goals weekly, like we get distracted and then soon it's the 20th of the month and we're like, I don't even know what I need. So knowing exactly what you need, getting that advice of like, what should I be doing every single day? So something for me that I want to share, and I share this with my team, is like, I like to be results driven. I'm one of those people that if I just say, oh, I'm going to send 20 messages today, like that can feel like work, but like, what if nothing really happens from those 20 messages? I'm that person where I'm like, I'm not going to bed until I get like 5 host-to posts up today. I don't care if I had to ask 10 or 50. I'm not worried about the amount of people that I have to ask. I'm worried about what are the results that are coming from my work that day. And so that really helped me, you guys, on my 90-day run, is like, okay, I'm adding 3 new potentials to my list today. I didn't have a number of like, I'm going to message this many people. I think that we're sometimes asking the wrong question. And I think that, like, at least this is just, like I said, what helped me, is the result, being results driven in that way. And so it really is incredible what can happen when you just start really believing like, okay, I can do these things. I'm capable of these things. I'm capable of signing 5 customers in a week instead of just 5 customers in a month, because we put these glass ceilings on ourselves, you guys. Like, there are people in this business that they'll sign like 50 to 100 customers in a month. And some people are like, oh, I don't know if I can sign 5 customers this month. What makes you different? Like, they have the same stuff, the same resources, the same social media, the same products. Like, you know, when that really clicks in your mind, I feel like that's when everything can change, because it's like, man, I'm putting these limits on myself. I don't need to do that. I just need to up my game and up my belief a little bit, and then up the work that comes through that, and be specific, be focused, and just like keep on believing in that way. And so that's honestly like the best advice that I got in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh, that was so good too. Like, I just got like 9,700 tips from what you just said. I can't wait to like rewatch this again, because there were so many good nuggets in everything that you said. That was just, oh my gosh, that was so good. Do you have any last tip that you want to share with anybody before we hop over to Shannon and Matthew?
Yeah, I would say like the last thing that I want to share is, and I want to talk about this first and then I forgot, but like really having that conversation with people who are close to you. Because I know Sarah was saying like it was hard, like her husband was not really truly like she was saying, she's like, he thought it was kind of a waste of time a little bit, and he didn't really understand what she saw. So I think sometimes it can be really powerful to like show what's possible in this business. Like maybe if there's like, you know, obviously the income and everything, the income disclosure, but like, you know, just showing like, hey, this is what I'm going for, and like, this is why I'm going to be pushing so much. I took this tip from one of my leaders. She has a 5-year-old daughter, and when she was pushing for a rank, and I thought this was like a brilliant idea. She made it very involved with her daughter. So she actually took a calendar and she put dots on every single day of the calendar. And she was like, Mommy's going for a really, really big promotion. It's going to help us, tell them what it's going to help. We're going to be able to take a vacation here. We're going to be able to do this. I'm going to be able to do this for you guys. Get them excited. So she did that. And she also said, see these dots every single day. Every day that goes by, you're going to be able to erase a dot. And so at the end of this, when Mommy is done with this major hustle push, we're going to have a day together where we're just going to do this, this, and this, or we're going to go to the zoo or whatever it was, where it's like, we're going to have this awesome celebration day. And her little girl was so excited to erase a dot, and she started cheering on her mom, like, you got this, Mommy, we got 20 days left, or, whatever. And I thought that was one of the coolest things, if you have kids, to get them excited with you and get them involved with you. And I'm not a mom yet, but I'm like, that's an amazing idea. Have the conversation with your spouse. Get on that heart-to-heart level, because honestly, maybe they're skeptical because they don't feel it from you yet. They don't feel the belief from you yet. They don't feel like you're going to go all in. They just think that you're probably going to quit. So you got to get deep and get vulnerable with the people around you and speak your heart to them, because it might be a little scary to be like, I'm going to put my dreams out there. I'm going to put my goals out there, and I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to do. But once they hear that from you and they feel it, maybe they will be a little bit more supportive. So that's what I wanted to kind of end on.
Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I feel like it's one of the most important things that you can do, is to just let your family know what you're going for. Involve your kids. And if everybody around can understand in the household what this 90 days is going to do for your family and why Mommy's working so hard, I love that. I love every tip that you just said. Oh my gosh, Rachel, thank you so much for coming on here. This is this Zoom is like fire. Like, I'm so pumped up right now. Okay, so I'm going to bring on Shannon and Matthew. I think both of them are going to be on tonight. I can't see, but Shannon told me that she started the business on January 20th and went diamond in March, and she has 6 kids and works full time. So you are a busy mama. This is somebody you are going to want to hear from. So Shannon and Matthew, are you guys there?
Hey there. Hey, everyone. We are so excited, guys. So who hears that people are just too busy for this business? I think that is so crazy, because we have 6 kids, okay? So we're Shannon and Matthew Johnson. We're triple diamonds in the business. We've actually been in the business for going on 4 years this month. January 20th will be 4 years. And the crazy thing is, this isn't my first time in the business, okay? So I originally started without my husband even knowing, like, he had no idea that I joined 6 years ago. So in 2014, I joined, and I started asking people, and I was listening to all the naysayers. Can anybody relate to me? Put a 1 in the comments if you guys can relate, or if you have so many people that are like, oh, that's a scam, that's this, like, you're not gonna make any money, only the people at the top make the money. That's what I heard. And I'm like, and then I started being that person. I let that negativity in, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't have time for this. And I just let it go. 2 years later, let's fast forward, and I had been watching this lady. She was the general manager at the restaurant I worked at. So I'm working full time. We have 6 kids. My husband is also working full time. So time is something that we truly didn't have. But little did we know that we truly needed it bad. So I had been watching her, and she brought up the opportunity to me, and I was skeptical, guys. I didn't think I was worth it. I didn't think I could promote on social media. I wasn't pretty. I wasn't like her. All these things were going through my head. And then I finally thought to myself, what if? What if I could do this? What if I could make an extra $500 a month to make our car payment? Like, that would mean the world to us, guys. We were struggling so bad. I'm talking about scrounging up change to put gas in my tank to get to work. We have 6 kids. How does a person that's working so hard not have money in their bank account, right? Well, that was us.
Yeah, I tell you, we're probably going to get real and raw, guys. I'm an emotional man, and for me, from the get-go, listening to that lady in my kitchen telling me about how I can get a $20,000 bonus when I work, bust my butt, every day pouring concrete, making a good wage, but I still can't pay my garbage bill. But yet I got this lady in my living room telling me, you guys could do this, could do this, right? And so from the get-go that night, we sat down, and I'm a brutally honest person. I have to know. I can't just BS my way through it and tell somebody else, yeah, come on, let's do this. If my heart, if my soul's not in it, that's who I am. And I think from the get-go, we did a little research. I did a little research. We came back, and what was the game changer for us, guys, is our mindset from the get-go was we are not going to fail at this. Our mindset from the get-go was we're not going to let our 6 kids be the reason why we can't do this, because we're going to offer them so much more. And guys, it went really quick. We didn't overcomplicate it. I think that's a big thing too. We didn't overcomplicate it. We signed 2 customers. What's the next thing? Sign the next 2. What's the next? Got 3 distributors. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? Before you know it, we just launched that $20,000 bonus, and we landed that diamond in 3 months. And
2 months.
In 2 months. And I stayed home. I was the first time I stayed home my entire life. I stayed home with the kids. Shannon was still working a little bit. And I tell you what, from that day forward, I am all in with this business. All in.
And the crazy thing is, yeah, we did. So our first month in the business, we ended up going Emerald. I think we grabbed like $4,000 in bonuses. Our second month in, within 2 months, we hit over, what was it, 35,000 in bonuses.
Yeah.
And I replaced my full-time income. I remember my first month, I got $1,300 in Fast Start bonuses my very first month because I was so excited. That's it, guys. I was excited. I was sharing with everybody and anybody. I would literally go into work. I would drink my products in front of people. People would ask me about them. I'm like, oh, you want a little sample? You know, I worked in the restaurant. So I got him a little glass and I gave him some. And I'm like, this is my greens. It's what gives me all my energy. And then people were asking me, people were coming to me from the get-go because of my excitement. And because when you know where you're going, people will join you. I promise you. So be excited about what you have your hands on.
You know, that's just it. We were sharing where we were going. We weren't Ruby yet, but we were like, hey, this is where we're going to be. We're going to grab this. We just joined this business, and these people are listening to us. You guys are doing what? You guys are doing what? Yeah, we're running for this. We're running for this. People looked at us like we were crazy. We had a party every Friday at our house. When there was 1 person, when there was 20 people, we still had a party.
But we were consistent with it. We did it every single Friday, no matter if people showed up or not.
So, you know, just think if you're stuck in a cave. Just think if you're stuck in a cave right now, and you're stuck in a cave, and all of a sudden you see a glimpse of daylight coming up from a little crack up in the cave, right? Hey, that's what we got from this. And since I seen that one little glimpse of daylight that I could take my family, I tell you what, I'm born and raised in dairy. I've worked hard my entire life, and generational debt is something that I'm drawing the end to. Because of this business, there's no more generational debt that's going to happen in my family. We seen that little daylight, and we ran to it. We didn't look back. We're not looking back. Like Mark said, there's no boat. The boat's on fire, and we're going and we're running. And guys, we hope that, you know, I don't know how we can compare to Brittany and Rachel and Sarah, and you guys are all just amazing rock stars as well, you know. And gosh, guys,
another thing we did too is we had everything written down, guys. Like our first day, I literally watched a video by Tiffany Herr, how to go diamond in 30 days, guys. Be resourceful when you guys are joining this business. Like, this is your business. Your upline is not your responsibility for your success. Okay, we're going to give you every single tool, everything that you need, but it's ultimately your responsibility to take massive action in your business. Like, I literally, yes, get on YouTube, watch those videos. And like I always tell my team, nobody is too busy for this. It's how bad do you want it? We literally worked this business in the nooks and crannies of our day because I was working full-time, guys. I was waitressing. I was signing people up in the bathrooms. I was on Zoom on our back dock having people watch my tables because I had that FOMO. I had that fear of missing out. I didn't want to miss out on anything. I had that mindset from the start, and it's literally, people ask us, how do you stay so excited for so long? because our why.
Yeah.
Our kids drive us every single day, and I will never, ever look at them and say that you aren't worth it. I will never, and I will fight tooth and nail for them.
Friends, I know we have the family call coming up, and I think Rachel really touched base on a big thing because we have a big family. Our kids are our biggest fans. Our boy signed up his teacher in school. Wouldn't leave, insisted on her signing up, brings her greens every day, chocolate greens, because he knows that she's a chocolate lover. Our kids are amazing, and they soak up what you're throwing out. They see it when they see goodness coming in your family. They see it, guys. They see it, and our kids, they're going to know how to work hard. They're going to know what struggle is, but they know what success is too. You work hard to get success. And so it's very important to get that balance. And Rachel, that's a good thing. I think a lot of families have a hard time with that because you do a lot towards this business, but what are you doing for their future? And that's where you got to look. What are you doing for your future for your children? That generational debt and that. So, yeah. And like Shannon said, we worked at night.
And it's those sacrifices too. We weren't going out with friends. We weren't going to movies. Like we even told our kids, like, guys, like, mommy's working right now, but it's going to be worth it, because we would tell them, we would talk to them and tell them, after mommy and daddy hit this is what we're going to do.
Right.
Like right now, I'm like, okay, we're going presidential right now. Okay. We're going to take you guys all to Disney and Matt's parents, and we're going to pay for it in cash. Like my kids know that. And they're like so excited. Like Matt said, our son literally signed up his teacher as a loyal customer. Yeah. He was asking her, he's like, hey, did you go to my mom's website? And then she's like, no, I keep forgetting. He goes, that's okay. I'll stand here until you can go to it right now.
Okay, Miranda, hurry.
And she did. So yeah, if you can poop, you can post, and follow the people that are at the top. Okay, guys, follow the people, copy the right cat. Just make it happen. Do those sacrifices. And guys, a lot can change in 90 days. Last year, we went from being paid as a diamond to triple. Okay, paid as a diamond in December to triple in March.
Yep.
Because we just put our heads down and we got to work and we saw that vision. We wrote our goals down on every mirror, triple diamond.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Love you.
I'm excited.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I have chills. This whole Zoom has been amazing, and you guys just closed it out with like the biggest boom ever right now. I love your guys' energy, and that was just so incredible. Oh my gosh, I know we have the family call. Wish we could like hang out forever tonight, but dang, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your night. All of you guys, all 5 of you guys, thank you so much for making it on this Zoom tonight. This was so incredible, and I hope all of you guys on here listen to what they said and have a deeper belief in yourself that you can do this. You just have to be willing to, put in the work that it takes to make your dreams come true, and just keep fighting for them, even when you fall short, even when you guys are so cute. Stop it. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much. I feel like the quote of the night is, if you poop, you can post. Like, that just is great. So anyways, you guys, thank you so much again. Let's all hop over to the family call. I can't wait to see what they talk about there. And this recording will be up on my YouTube. My name is Jennifer Swavely. So I'll pass it on to all the people that were guests on here tonight, so you guys can pass it on down to your team. So thank you again so much. Have an amazing night. Love the green glove. Good night, you guys. Blitz. Oh my God.
I got them from Mark Pentecost.
Oh, nice. Those are rad.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, you guys.